Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan and Organ Donation India Foundation. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. But before I will go on our topic, because today we are going to have this thought leadership series. So before I will go on the main topic, I would like to inform you that today world is observing World Intellectual Property Day. World Intellectual Property Day is observed annually on 26th April. The event was established by the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, in 2000 to raise awareness of how patents, copyright, trademarks, and designs impact on daily life, and to celebrate creativity and the contribution made by creators and innovators to the development of societies across the globe. 26th April was chosen as the date for World Intellectual Property Day because it coincides with the date on which the convention establishing the World Intellectual Property Organization entered into force in 1970. Media conference with Lal Goel hopes that by observing this day, more and more awareness will be created for protecting patents, copyright, designs, and trademarks. Now, coming to our main topic, that today we are going to have Thought Leadership Series. Crisis moments create opportunity. Problems and crises ignite our greatest creativity and thought leadership as it forces us to focus on things outside the norm. Thought leadership is fundamental in business today and consists primarily of finding and sharing great information in a way that attracts and retains. Thought leadership is when a leader's thoughts are being used by leaders to lead others. Thought leadership is influencing a narrative by understanding what needs to be done. Thought leadership is the expression of ideas that demonstrates you have expertise in a particular field, area, or topic. A thought leader can be recognized as an authority in a specific field and whose expertise is sought and often rewarded. That can be an expert, a historical figure, or a wise person with worldly impact. Many strive to become a thought leader in their respective fields. It takes dedication, patience, strategy, and education. In this series, we will be asking straight questions and we expect a straight answer from our thought leader. And today the topic is again a very innovative, the unique, and the topic is customer lifetime value. And our thought leader, I would like to invite and introduce our thought leader of today's program. He is Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran. Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran is the former visiting professor IIM Lucknow and University of Texas at Dallas, USA. He is the senior director of Don Bosco Group, Bangalore. He is the founder of Dr. Sharan Consultancy, California, USA. He is the director of Eldo Private Limited, New Delhi. He has done his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad in 1980. He did PhD in 1986. He started teaching and researching business and entrepreneurship since 1984. Dr. Saran published research papers in reputed journals, international seminar proceedings, and chapters in books of readings. He started academic administration phase as dean in 1997, rising to executive director, controlling management and engineering institutes in 2007. Her Highness Governor of Karnataka nominated Dr. Saran to the Senate of Bangalore University in recognition of his distinguished academic contributions. He was visiting professor to University of Texas at Dallas from 2012 to 2019. He also visited Washington State University and President University, Indonesia on the invitation of the Dean Faculty of Business in 2018. He innovated and implemented a unique model to double the turnover with existing infrastructure in one accounting year. He is co-promoter of Institute of Family Business Management Society. He is honorary director of NCR Delhi-based high-tech B2B digital startup. He is also co-founder of OWGI Foundation, which promotes social entrepreneurship ventures. Welcome, Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran on our show. Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran, it's a pleasure to be with you once again, and especially in this thought leadership series, because we have done so many thought leadership series, and the response which we are getting not only from youth, but from the seniors, adults, and the senior citizens even, and they all are very happy to know new things about a new topic. And always, as usual, you are so articulate and give my all the questions, straight questions, answer very straightly. Let's hope today also you will play with a straight bat with there, because the time is of IPL. So everybody is watching IPL. I'm sure that today also you will also play like what Dhoni played, not yesterday, but before match, and how he has won his team won the match because of his batting. So my first question to you is, what is customer lifetime value?
Thank you, Mr. Goel, for selecting one more theme, which is at the cutting edge today in the world of business. And even though some people will be hearing the term for the first time, the concept will be familiar to them with respect to what a business is supposed to do. So when you ask me what is customer lifetime value, I'll say literally the meaning of the three words which are there. Customer value. So what is the value of a specific customer? What is the value of an average customer? Are not the same thing. I buy something from Van Heusen, you buy something from Van Heusen, that is the value of a particular customer to the organization. Now, when we are talking about the middle word lifetime value, then this is where the whole excitement starts to build up, Mr. Goel. I buy Van Heusen not every day, but then every year on couple of occasions, I do buy Van Heusen items for my wardrobe. So when we look at this picture as a forward-looking, technology-savvy business person, then the customer lifetime value becomes a idea worth being familiar with and an idea worth mastering. I'm sure it'll give me an opportunity to tell you why is customer lifetime value, but for the moment, I'll focus on answering what is customer lifetime value. So with this introductory remark, what we are looking at is an average customer, the typical customer of the company which I am managing as a business person or as an executive. That average is very important concept. It is not simple. A lot of business intelligence goes into recognizing which customer is that quote unquote average customer, typical customer. Once we recognize that, then we want to find out how many times will he buy? What will be the frequency of purchase? This is very easy for you to understand. The frequency can be one or it can be many. And the final concept here is for how long will the loyalty of the customer be with me? Will it be very short-lived? Will it be medium term? Or will it be long term? Or will it be for lifetime? That's why the word customer lifetime value. The lifetime is not how long the customer will survive on planet Earth. That is not the concept. The concept is how long I will be able to retain that customer. The duration of retention is the third most important concept. So I think with this brief introduction, you get an idea what is customer lifetime value. Today's technological savvy world uses a lot of analytics. We will discuss as our conversation progresses. But the basic is this, to summarize: customer lifetime value is a metric for a modern business, particularly a technology related or technology using business, where it can calculate how well the marketing program is working, what kind of income do we generate from an average income, and what profitability can we get from an average customer. Without this, we are not going to have any idea what the future of the business is. And therefore, this is a critically important concept. Customer lifetime value today is a vitally important concept. And that's why I'm very proud to be here with you, so that many of the misgivings can be clarified. Many of the less known things will come to light. And some of the things which are rare in conversation, but extremely beneficial for any average business person who is our viewer today or ambitious business person of tomorrow, they will benefit a lot. So I'm happy to be here with you discussing customer lifetime value.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Saran, for explaining what is customer life value. Now my question, because you mentioned about that technology, modern technology, etc. So it means indirectly or directly you are mentioning about the e-commerce thing related with the CLV. But if we go just 30 years back, 40 years or 50 years back, at that time also, when we go to any of the shop, take when you have mentioned about the shop for the wardrobe, if you go to a shop, a sari shop, the owner knows which type of sari you are going to buy, the average cost of the sari because of the past experience. So immediately, instead of showing all a range of saris, they take out the sari which is on an average price which you have purchased at that time. So and immediately show it. So why we are giving importance now, I think what I saw that it was also very important at that time, because at that time they were knowing that if Dr. Saran is purchasing a shirt of rupees 700, so he would like to show the same range of shirts. He is not showing you 200 or 100 rupees range, or not showing you 2000 rupees range. So do you think the CLV or the customer lifetime value is only connected with e-commerce, or it was from our traditional timers?
A very difficult question. So let me give it due respect from the very first minute. The business person you mentioned in my hometown was Gopaldas Vastralaya, where we went for buying our clothing for important occasions. And there was another shop where we went for our regular purchases. So when we went to Gopaldas Vastralaya, I will be given a cold drink. My father will be served a chai, and my mother will be served plain water. Now, even the salespeople in that shop knew if they did not do this, somewhere their performance reward from the owner Gopal Das ji will be affected. So the whole team in this shop was busy performing something which is very important in customer lifetime value measurement. And that is the concept of customer relationship management, CRM in short. Customer relationship management is a word which became very popular in last 30 years or so, because we have now the internet, we have the World Wide Web, and every time we surf, a lot of data is available. So somebody thought, let us make a software, let us make a program which will remember what Gopal Dachi remembered in his head, what his servants did in this shop. It was automated. But with automation comes a risk. Sometimes we over rely on the software and do not apply our mind. So what I'm trying to say here is CLV is definitely more popular and powerful because it has access to another powerful technology, customer relationship management. But you are very right. Since time immemorial, all the good business people, they did certain wise business practices, and the technology try to automate it and make it more accessible. This is the only difference. Otherwise, yes, in the old times, what they did, the modern businesses are required to do it with or without help of technology. The reason being, every customer costs you money to acquire. Marketing budget is spent on customer acquisition. We will discuss at length the role of customer acquisition and customer retention. But the value of customer is what you can give and what you can get. What is your cost and what is your revenue? So customer relationship is the one which maximizes the profits which we get from valuable customers. So this is where your comment is very relevant, very important. And it is not only recent. It has been happening for time. I will agree with you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Saran. And you have, without paying anything to the channel or to me, you have advertised the Gopal Vastralaya. I'm sure they will be quite happy if there is still existing in your town. Now, my question to you is, you are saying that this customer lifetime value is very important. Why is customer lifetime value such an important thing today?
Allow me to say, if a modern businessman, whether he's in the traditional business or in modern business, whether he is in the big brick and mortar shop and selling the same commodity on the internet through e-commerce, irrespective of all the differences, my answer to your question is, without this concept being clear in the head of the business owner, survival will not be possible anymore. Because the competition will very quickly take advantage of revenue generating power in a way that it translates into pure profit. And as a business person, if I am not respecting customer lifetime value, because I know why it is important, time will teach me that because it controls the profit of the organization, the ability to generate profit today is directly proportional to the ability of the business owner, the founder, the founding team to use and leverage it for managing the entire profit picture. So this is my short answer to this one. I will not launch into more. There are very many subsidiary factors, but you believe like this, if my lungs capacity is managed through something, then that is the thing to business today, CLV, customer lifetime. That's how important it is. Now you know why it is important.
Okay, when you are saying that it is very important, now my next question to you is, what are the reasons to track CLV or the customer lifetime value, and how you are going to do it?
Suppose there are two businesses in the same domain and they're competing with each other. And one is intelligent but not familiar with CLV. The other one is less intelligent but familiar with CLV. Normally, we will expect that the first business will do better than the second one. Because he is intelligent, maybe he'll get more customers in the beginning. But one thing is sure, that the other fellow will get what the first business did not take, left over as we call. But within the first cycle, some dissatisfaction will begin in the customers of the first business. And second fellow is not intelligent, lose lifetime value. So he will keep on communicating with the entire segment of the customers. And slowly what you will find is a thing called churn starts. CHURN is a technical term in modern business. Churn starts. Churn means your customers are going to your competitor. And competitors' customers are coming to you. The net of this is the net churn. This is the modern phenomena. You were customer of Airtel, you go to Idea. You were customer of Idea, you went to Vodafone. You were customer of Vodafone, you went to Reliance, and so on. This is the churn. So the first reason is, how do I design my marketing? I cannot do it in a vacuum. I need inputs to make my decisions. Churn is one which I need to know. Today's modern technology gives me the data easily accessible for me through Google Analytics to measure the churn, estimate the churn, and design my marketing program accordingly. So the second business person from the second cycle onwards will start taking away the most profitable customers in the segment. And as a business person, when that happens, the second business will be going up and up, and the first business will be always getting bleeding, hemorrhage, and ultimately live like a sick business, not a healthy business. There are many more reasons, but I'll limit to this.
Now, when you mentioned about, you have given the example of two businesses. So if I will take it further, and if I will say, and I want your answer on this or your confirmation on this, that if a business person respect the customer lifetime value, then he will be saving lots of amount on marketing, because the other business, as you mentioned, his competitor is spending money on marketing, but he is not respecting the customer lifetime value. That's why the customers are coming and churn starts, and the customer comes to even to the other competitor, the businessman, and then if he is respecting CLV, so the marketing is done by the one businessman, and the advantage because of the CLV is taken by the second businessman. Do you agree with this?
I fully agree with this. Today it is possible to make every other competitor my best friend. How? All the communicating which you are doing, I'll wait for the time till awareness is created with your money. Once the awareness is created with your money, I am doing intelligent analytics, business analytics, and identifying which of them are most profitable customers to acquire. And then I do targeted online advertising to them and get those people without you realizing you contributed me getting the profit. It is something like you are doing the spending for me to get the profit. Yes, this is possible today if you really understand the details of the customer lifetime value, the whole mechanics. Because you see, Mr. Goel, no matter how much I say privacy is important, the very fact that I had to connect it to internet and then connect to you on this conference. And then before doing this conference, I went to 10 websites searching for material on customer lifetime value. It will have the information recorded on a cloud server. This is what I did on this date and this time. And you see, even though they have promised me privacy, but with not knowing my name, they will just know me as an individual. That much privacy is guaranteed. But will they know where I went, how long I stayed? And all that is beautiful information for what we discussed just now, that will use the competitors for your profit. That is
Okay.
possible.
Yes. So when you say that the profit can be increased if you are respecting the CLV. Now, the question comes, how you will measure the customer lifetime value? Because you know that, okay, this customer is coming, he has spent X amount in this year, next year, again he came, he spent Y amount. But how to measure it, this customer lifetime value? Can you just enlighten us?
It is a very complex topic, Mr. Goel. It's a very difficult thing for me without knowing who is how much knowledgeable about this one. So let me play safe. I'll just limit to the method which is most common and simplest to understand. Let's begin with the example of a coffee shop in a city. So a person goes and buys the coffee and spends, let us say, 120 rupees. That person goes to that place twice a week and he works for 40 weeks in a year and he will go there. With this data, I can calculate the lifetime value which I'll get from this one. But let me remember, one important number is missing in this example. And the number missing is how long before this person changes his job or changes his residence. If I get that number, then I have all the information in my example, Mr. Goel, to calculate customer lifetime value by one particular method. So he's spending 120 twice a week for 40 weeks. He will go there for 5 years before he changes. Suppose this is data. So with all these numbers, I multiply them and I get the customer lifetime value, as simple as that. Now, what I want to tell you is I must have advertised in order to acquire this customer directly or indirectly. That number is vital because I will be subtracting this number and getting my profitability from the customer. The customer lifetime value is not only the revenue, Mr. Goel. When I'm talking about the method, and this is what we want to emphasize, as you are aware, this thought leadership program, we are bringing out aspects which are not commonly available in textbook or internet or somewhere. We have acquired through our own individual initiative, interest, and keenness. So in Dr. Sharan Consulting, California, what we emphasize is the word value has more than one meaning. Revenue which I get from this particular example of the coffee shop is one value. Then the number which I subtract from this is how much did I spend to get this revenue. Without expense, you don't get any revenue. That is a fact of business. So how much my profit is there? And then if I retain that customer, this is most important point. If I retain that customer, then I don't have to spend again and again that money which is required for acquiring a new customer. So these four things are part of the method of calculating customer lifetime value. We play very seriously as Dr. Sharan Consulting California in understanding that this is the core of success of every business, because profit determines the growth rate. And in our last conversation, thought leadership, you will remember, we distinguish between a new business and a startup business on the rate of growth. So today we are able to connect from this thought leadership to the last one, that if I am managing the two things together, a new business, by managing customer lifetime value intelligently, measuring it accurately, better and better with passage of time, then it gets the key for becoming a startup, not remain just a new venture. So this is the beauty of the measurement technique, and this is where the power is. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Saran. Now, Professor Saran, in other words, if we will say, if we understand what is CLV, but the object of the CLV or the customer lifetime value is to retain the customer. If I will put you in a very, very straight way. Now, in that aspect, many places I have seen, like I will give an example of Oberoi's Hotel in Mumbai. They have the butler system. I'm talking of for the suites and the executive rooms, where if you are checking in today, and if you asked for certain flowers in your room to be of certain colors and whatnot, and if you are coming after 5 years, and once you enter and once they enter your name, they know your choices, what you have ordered in the morning, tea and coffee or tea, and what type of roses, color, yellow roses. So once you enter the room, you will find the same things which you asked them to do it 5 years or 10 years back. Now here, there is no measurement of the value, but you have added or you have judged the preference of that customer, and you have provided that thing. Although you are providing the flowers might be of any other color, but instead of that, you have provided the color which the customer liked 5 years back. Don't you think this also comes under the customer lifetime value or not?
It does come within that one, no doubt about it. I can say very comfortably and confidently. And we will add a few more things here. Suppose there are 5 Mr. Goels, and they are having profitability attached to each individual Mr. Goel. 5 profitability are there. The hotel, which manages your preferences by remembering them, by training their managers to do things as per the data which is available in the system about the customer, and do it with a human touch, that organization, that business will attract the most profitable Mr. Goel first. And this is what I want to emphasize. This is again another specific thing which comes through your conversation, and we should be looking. The data is accessible to all the 5 organizations, where he went, what he likes, and lots more. Business analytics is available to each of the 5, depending upon the kind of organization they build. And this is where we specialize at Dr. Sharan Consulting. We match all the 3 subsystems of the most profitable business plan. So all this is exciting today in managing, running, and owning a business, Mr. Goel. And customer lifetime value does include that as essential part of itself. All the information which you mentioned, the kind of roses you want, the kind of tea you want, the kind of time at which you want your refreshments. Somebody asks you, sir, will you like some tea? You will be paying. It is not free, it is a paid service. But somebody comes and says, and when tea comes, the person says, sir, the cookies are complimentary. So it reminds also, we are giving you cookies, but see, we are doing it for you. So that decency is there. All this is part of CRM segment and retention. And as I never tire of telling Mr. Goel, retention is the God to worship in customer lifetime value. It is senseless to lose a customer you acquired because you could not satisfy, because you did not do your analytics properly. If you are losing a customer for some such reason, like I lose some faculty because they want to get married and go to a different town, fine, I accept it. But unnecessarily losing a faculty when no marriage, no such factor is there, this is not the proper thing to do in today's world. A customer lifetime value philosophy at least cautions you about those sins that you can make as a businessman and prevent them. It is possible today. Analytics has gone to that level. Data availability has gone to big data. We talk, maybe we'll talk sometime. It's very fascinating field, Mr. Goel. Very fascinating.
So when you are talking about the customer lifetime value, and you have mentioned how the customer has to be satisfied, the employees, do you think the employee's role is very important? If yes, then the management of the organization should also give more importance to the employees so that employees will understand the customer lifetime value and give that services to the customers, so then the customer retention, CRM or whatsoever, can be achieved by those employees who are really caring for the customer and giving them the customer lifetime value. Do you agree?
I fully agree. And let me give you some marketing gyan here. Please forgive me. If I am managing a product company, my entire marketing is made up of something which a man, Jerome McCarthy, in 1930s specified. The first P is product, second P is promotion, third P is place, and fourth P is price. So goods and tangible offers, this is the model for my marketing to manage. My success will depend how well I combine the four P's so that they are not working against each other. The quality of the product and the price are consistent. The communication and distribution are consistent. Product and communication are consistent, and so on, folks. So my success is guaranteed. Lifetime value measurement will give me very good results. When we go to services, Mr. Goel, like hotel, which you mentioned, 3 more P's are added. 7P model is for marketing. And in that one, the 5th P is people. And that is where it comes. Because I do not know what is the quality of a hotel unless I see the infrastructure which conveys the quality, and unless I meet the people who communicate the quality. So the customer lifetime value is only a recovery of the investment made by the business profitably. So you are very right. The people have to be trained. People must believe. They must be rewarded and compensated intelligently for delivering on customer lifetime value. They must have a support system technology officer who is tracking the right big data, right metrics, through right analytics. It is a jungle out there. Intelligent choices are very important. The technology budget is most important part of budget today for the reason that we have discussed so far. All this is driven by technology, whether it is a physical business, manufacturing or distribution, or a electronic digital business, manufacturing or distribution. Those distinctions are minor now. So as a business person, it is well advised that you be very careful in selecting the people who can be trained, training the people in a way that they feel that it is for their benefit as much as for the organization. And then having a reward and recognition system where you are very fair, you give them some share, either praise or financial reward for delivering customer value. So this is very, very important and one must do. And I'm very happy many organizations are practicing this. Otherwise, there was no point in our talking of a thing which is not of relevance or of practical use. So that is the position.
Okay, so now when you are saying that we have to measure the customer lifetime value, you have mentioned how to measure it. But what are the challenges which the organizations are facing when they're measuring the customer lifetime value or CLV?
The first challenge is availability of manpower in the market is limited for practicing customer lifetime value, Mr. Goel. The limitation is both in the full-time employees and the limitation is in terms of getting the expert for mentoring or guiding or consulting. So this is the biggest one because this is one such sensitive one. Ordinary experts will find dime a dozen, but the people who can make a difference are scarce. Now, since supply is limited, demand is of course going to face challenges. The second thing is many a time we operate with a situation where a lot of stressors are. So even though I want to practice customer lifetime value, but the crisis from day-to-day operations, government regulations, or social agitation, or things like Ukraine war disrupting the supply chain, when those happens, then the practical challenges crop up, and we are not able to practice the way we would like to practice this one. So some things are within control, which become challenges, Mr. Goel, and some of the things are outside our control. So these two kind of challenges are present there. That is what my thinking is.
Okay. Professor Saran, you have mentioned about the challenges. Now, today, if we are talking of the today's world, today's time, we are seeing for any product, for any services, whether it's a medical service, whether it's a product, whether delivery service, Ola, Uber, any services or any products. The customer, even an existing customer, goes for the reviews of the new organization. And if or she feels that the review of the new organization is better than the existing organization where he was a serial customer, I must say, not killer. So do you think that also make an impact because he or she would like to try out that particular shop or that particular service because of the good reviews or to try out a new restaurant, although they are habitual or they are regular for a particular restaurant, but they, because the reviews have come, they feel why not we try them. And that time it is again a very big challenge for the existing organization or the restaurant to retain or give the customer lifetime value to that particular customer. How we can overcome this challenge?
Beautiful question. I'm so happy you asked it because I will be able to bring a nuance, a sophistication, which without this question would not have been possible. Let me begin by giving you an example. There is a very good Chinese restaurant. There is a very good Italian restaurant. There is a very good Mughlai restaurant. Now, in a month, suppose I take my family out twice a week, minimum 6 times. So these 3 fellows can think in a revolutionary manner. They should not think as a competitor. They should think as a collaborator. And today, with the kind of technology we have, it is very much possible. One fellow offers an incentive to bring the customer to himself or herself, knows he has now used his chance, and therefore he will pass on the information to the Italian restaurant or Mughlai restaurant and encourage them to now offer an incentive to bring to their one. They knowing that each one will be getting 1 to 2 to 3 visits from that given customer. This is today possible because all the database, the big data I said, is available in the public domain, and these three people can form a informal organization. They are not doing destructive competition at all. They are not forming cartel. It is not illegal at all. They are just being collaborative. And today, just like pharma companies are doing in their R&D, they can do the same thing in their marketing. Pharma companies finding new drugs is becoming very costly. Government regulation, the intellectual property day which we are celebrating today, that being as slippery as it is today, we know all the reality. So they have come up that to reduce the risk of R&D investment, let's rather collaborate than compete. Similarly, this can be done. So I'm very happy you asked this question. It is quite possible to overcome these challenges by creative collaboration between the people in the same ecosystem. And this is possible today. And I encourage.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Professor Saran. Now, when you are talking about the CLV and you have said how to measure it, whatnot. Now, what is the reliable formula to calculate customer lifetime value? That is CLV.
Very true. The reliability comes from two sources. The first source is the quality of the input. So that is where you need a very intelligent analytic person, either full-time, part-time, or in any other form. That's the first one which determines the reliability. Because you remember, if the input is bad, then you have no way but to make a bad decision. So this is the first challenge, importance that I will place. This is common sense, so it does not need more emphasis. The second one is, how are the relationships on the ground level? There are more than 3-4 very popular methods of calculating customer lifetime value. Which one will fit my reality? That is the second most important thing. And again, I'm happy this is happening in our thought leadership program, because this is not emphasized in the written word, whether it be in a physical library or on a digital library. Matching my reality, my business model to the formula which I have chosen is vitally important. And it's very delicate. I cannot emphasize how critical it is. So that is where the best money should be spent in talent acquisition and competency building. I hope you agree with me on this one. The third challenge is how minimum information should be put into the calculation. Drop out all the extra cluttering information. Some people call it data cleaning. It is more than data cleaning. So once these three precautions are taken, the measurement of or selection of the method becomes reliable. Having said this one, what I prefer is a measure where customer retention is part of the growth rate. Mark my words. There are formulas of CLV which includes retention explicitly. If it is included, This must be the indicator of the growth rate, determinant of the growth rate. And this is a sophisticated point, advanced point, but I am very happy to mention this one. It is there. And the reason I'm mentioning this one is all the new venture founders have ambition to make it the best business in their own lifetime. This is not possible unless I pay attention to retention of customers as the driver of the growth, Mr. Goel. This single factor determines, if managed well, the new venture will walk into the category called a startup. So you see, this is the reliability of the method and relevance of the method and contribution of the method. So this is how important your question was. I hope I have done justice by answering this sophisticated advanced.
Okay, thank you, Professor Saran. Now, we are seeing in many of the, if I will give example of airlines or hotels, they have a plan of frequent flyers plan, where if you are flying once or twice or thrice, so I'll give you the many attractive things, like they issue you the upgrade vouchers, even in hotels or the airlines. Such types of freebies they give to their customers who are loyal to them. So loyalty programs they are running. Do you think for customer lifetime value, these types of loyalty programs helps? If it helps, or it is a liability because you are spending more on to retain those customers because you feel that he is spending X amount. So you are giving them this type of, by running these types of loyalty program, you are giving the freebies, and thus you are spending X amount on a existing customer. So my question to you is, for customer lifetime value, whether this type of loyalty program or the freebies or the frequent flyers program act as a catalyst, or it's not a good thing for a healthy balance sheet of that business. Dr. Saran, please.
I am so sober that you have raised this point, Mr. Goel. Please listen to me carefully. This is called customer loyalty building program in marketing language. You are raising an issue, whether it is a blessing or it is a opposite of a blessing. It is not easy for me to bring out this sophistication. So please allow me to go slow and build on this one. What we are dealing here is a double-edged sword in the name of loyalty program. Why? Remember, if I'm talking about tangible business, physical or digital, 4P model is applicable. This is familiar to you. I have built that vocabulary. If I'm dealing with a service, again, whether physical or digital, 7P model is there. The 4 Ps are common to both of them. One of the 4 Ps was promotion. Remember that? I'm not adding anything new. We are building on the base we have already created. This customer loyalty is primarily a decision part of promotion. And remember that if you are promoting and other 3 or 6 Ps are not consistent, you know what will happen? It will happen that you will spend money and your customer will benefit from it. You will run the loyalty program, and since desire has been created for the product category, and if your other Ps are not matching, if your business organization is not able to capitalize, if the different departments are not talking to each other, if you have a rivalry among different units of your own business, then this business expense will go to benefit your competitors, Mr. Goel. So customer loyalty programs should be only practiced after a lot of good management virtues have been installed in the organization. In a lighter vein, I will now want to bring in the concept. Sometime back, I told the song always comes very handy for me. Amitabh Bachchan in a movie is in a holy scene, and where the song goes, somebody is doing something for someone and somebody else's benefit. The bed is made for the legitimate husband, and then the boyfriend is having all the good time. Those kind of things. I'm not bringing the vernacular version of it because that is not required here. The point is made. Now coming to the more sophisticated one, what we run at Dr. Sharan Consulting California is a religious conviction that your 4 P's or 7 P's, as the case must be checked for consistency. When this is done, then you choose your customer loyalty program. Consistent to that, you choose your customer relationship management program. Consistent to that, you develop a customer lifetime value management program. These 3 programs, you can look at the smallest to the biggest in a order, or just the reverse order also is possible. Some managements want to build the customer loyalty program first. Consistent to that, they build the customer relationship management program next. And finally, they focus on the customer loyalty program. Some other programs, I know a couple of managers who prefer, they will build the customer loyalty, experiment with it, and then choose the customer relationship management which is consistent with that. This is what we are advising, and this is what we have seen is bringing the best. So thank you. The entire spectrum is interconnected here. Loyalty is interconnected with customer relationship management, which is connected with retention, which is inversely connected to attrition or customer loss or churn. And all these 3 together are bound into one bouquet, beautiful bouquet if you are doing it well, ugly bouquet if you are not doing it well, and that is customer lifetime value optimization. Optimization is the word.
When we are talking customer loyalty evaluation, I can give you 2 examples, and I want your views on that. One is the Jet Airways. They were running this customer loyalty program, frequent flyer program, very, very successfully. And I am one of the beneficiary of that. And sometimes I wonder that they are giving so many things to the frequent flyer, how they are going to manage. And the other one is like Marriott Hotels, JW Marriott or the Marriott Hotels chain. They are also running the customer loyalty program. And their customer loyalty program is very, very successful that today they have acquired so many other hotel chains, whether it is ITC, whether it is Ritz-Carlton, Carlton Group, many, many groups they have acquired. Is it because of the poor management, or is it because of the Axis loyalty program, as you are mentioning, that loyalty program has to be designed very intelligently, that the Jet Airways failed while Marriott Hotels, chain of Marriott Hotels, are successful? Because what happens that if a customer wants to fly and given a choice, one airline, he's a frequent flyer and he knows that he will get a priority treatment, instead of whether time will suit or not, he will be landing a late night, but he will fly in that. Similarly, in a hotel, if you know that if you are going in a loyalty program, you will get that additional value as a customer, you will be upgraded, etc., etc. So my point is whether this CLV or the customer loyalty value also correlated or directly related with these types of loyalty program? One. Secondly, what are other common examples of applying CLV? Dr. Saran, please.
Uh, it's simple at the ground level. As we mentioned, customer loyalty programs are double-edged swords in the sense that if they are in a background of consistent marketing program, marketing strategy, then they work for you. If you are starting a beautiful customer loyalty program, but the rest of the organization is not tuned finally to that one, like a music scenario where different pieces of instruments are there and they have to play in harmony. If that is missing, then common sense tell you it will hurt you, and it hurts badly because customers are intelligent today, as competitors are intelligent today, and customers also are choosy and selective. They have option. It is not the control Raj of 1960s in India. So they will move to exercise their competition. This is the big picture, Mr. Goel. Specifically, what I want to once again emphasize is the beauty of management is in making it a complete, comprehensive, and non-contradictory system. It is the ideal. I agree. I'm a practical person. We do advise at Dr. Sharan Consulting California to prefer practicality than ideology because the dynamic situation only keeps on moving the goals with passage of time. So ideology is limited here. What we are saying here is, as you mentioned, take the loyalty programs, but don't practice it like Jet Airways did. Take the loyalty program and practice the way Marriott did. And the secret here is open. Make sure you have deliberate, conscious, built into the process steps that ensure consistency is between all the 4 P's or all the 7 P's as the case be. As the case be, they should be there and they should be respected for that. And this is what my message is going to be in response to a question, that each of the elements are powerful in themselves for sure. But remember, they are powerful whether for you, for your competitor, will depend on the consistency of the special management. That is why I love the customer lifetime value. It is not product of one decision or 2 decisions, but a whole set of decisions which are made by a thinking person, thinking in a consistent, comprehensive way. It is not mechanically applied. It is not because I learned half of it like the son of Arjuna did and entered the Chakravyuh. If we practice the single elements or entire set of customer lifetime value elements, but practice it like Abhimanyu, my God, let's not do it. We advise do it with complete knowledge of before entry preparation, during entry action, and after exit actions. All 3 must be there. Customer loyalty program falls in one of the 3 parts and manage it properly with full cause effect understanding of the ground level reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Saran. I'm sure the business organizations or those who are planning to start the startups or those who are running the startups understand and getting benefited by what Professor Saran is saying, that what are the main factors for the CLV, the customer lifetime value. Now my question to you is, what are different ways to improve customer lifetime value of CL?
Uh, you see, there are simple businesses like that coffee shop or coffee business, which I mentioned to you. More complex, for example, is a car dealership, let us say. Now, let me give you a simplified version. It is a basic introductory conversation in thought leadership that we are building here. So suppose I buy a new car costing 9 lakh rupees and a particular brand I have become loyal to, so I go to their dealer. I buy the new car every 4 years. So what is the first thing? The value of purchase, 9 lakh rupees. What is the frequency of purchase? Once in 4 years. So divide 1 by 4, you get a factor of 0.25. The brand I'm loyal, I will not be loyal for entire driving history. Suppose I started driving, bought my first car at the age of 24, 25, 26. And I will buy the last car in when I'm 60, 65 years old. So 26 to 60 is 34 years. In 34 years, I won't be loyal to one brand. It's not practical. You know? So let us say I'll be loyal for 15 years. So this is one very common method for car dealership. I will take 9 lakh multiplied by 0.25 into, I'm loyal for, let us say, 10 years or 12 years. So this is my customer lifetime value, one approach. Okay. The other methods will be refinements of this basic model, Mr. Goel. I'm not going to detail, otherwise it will become a, not a thought leadership conversation. It will become a lecture on CLB, which I don't want it to degenerate into. I want to maintain the beauty of the thought leadership, and this is what I'm doing. So coffee, I used the same numbers in a different way, so to say. And in the car dealership, I do differently. This is what I was mentioning, that customer lifetime value must match my business, the method which I choose. And that is where intelligence of the founders come, founding team comes, and the sophistication comes. This is what I want to mention here. We can build on this one, all the sophistications. We can build on this one on churn, we can build on cost. And before I leave, let me tell you one important thing. How much should Marriott spend on Mr. Goel to acquire him? 5,000 rupees? 10,000 rupees? 20,000 rupees? In customer loyalty program and all other things, how much should they program? In the olden days, before customer lifetime value was introduced, Mr. Goel, there was no guideline. I had no way to decide that number. Today I have. And logical way to find it out. Suppose Mr. Goel, in his lifetime of loyalty to my one, because after some time he'll switch his loyalty to some other chain. Well, while his life, loyal to me, how much total profit does he bring? I cannot spend more than that in acquiring him and retaining him. If I do that one, I'm a bad business person. I have no basic understanding of business. So this is one certainty, which is what attracted me to customer lifetime value in the very first place. As any businessman at any stage of the life of business, this becomes the lighthouse for my ship to be guided in a dark night to sail safely towards my goal, Mr. Goel. I hope I'm able to emphasize the beauty of this one, bring out the significance and contribution to a real business person who wants to excel through merit. This is possible today with customer lifetime value and the entire connections, the different methods of calculating it, plenty of them there, depending upon different types of business. Some amount of, 1 or 2 or 3 methods, 4 or 5 methods, 6 or 7 methods, 8 or 9 methods. This is possible today with customer lifetime value and the entire connections, the different methods of calculating it, plenty of them there, depending upon different types of business. Some amount of Adaptation will have to be done by each business person because nothing is available ready-made off the shelf. It is a mistake to understand it is available. I never want to leave the impression that is possible. So let me be explicit here by telling that please don't make the mistake of buying an off-the-shelf model from anywhere and adapt it. Better live without it than live with a bad one.
Okay, so now when we are talking about the customer lifetime value system, what is the link between customer relationship management, because we are talking about customer relationship management also now, and with the customer lifetime value, is there any link? If it is, what is that link?
There is a link. This is first part of the answer. The link is very vital. This is the second part of the answer. And the third part is saying why I said the link is there, it is vital. Now, the third part is if you are not having customer relationship management, then all the other expenses that you made in the name of customer acquisition and retention will become sterile. You understand? It will become sterile, and therefore nothing could be more unfortunate for the business organization. So don't let the link either shrink or break. Customer relationship for fools is sending a greeting card on my birthday. That does not make me buy an extra shirt from Van User. That does not make me buy an extra pair of costly shoes from Reebok. No, sir, it does not do. The customer relationship and customer lifetime value, the link is not mechanically created, Mr. Goel. The link is created intelligently. If I buy the shirts in June and my birthday is in February, then if the greeting came in February, it is mechanical customer relationship management. It will have no link with customer lifetime value. Make my point. When we are going to mentor the founders in incubators patronized by Dr. Sharan Consultancy, this is the very first lesson we say that the business variables are linked with results in the business, and make sure the links are conceptual, not mechanical. Sending the customer relationship management program software where we say we will send a greeting in February because customer's birthday is there, forgetting that the purchase happened in June. I will search actively, is there a memorable event in the life of my customer? As I told you, a lot of information about me is available publicly through different kind of, things which I have bought in life. Everybody has access to it through big data analytics. So what they will find maybe is June was the month when I get vacation and I go to my brother. So what they will do is they will say, have a happy holiday and spend good time with your brother instead of sending me birthday. So you see, Mr. Goel, I'm happy you asked this one. There is a link, but that link, L-I-N-K, is not mechanical. Automation of software will mislead you. Please be careful. Buy the best CRM software from any source. But the link part you make through a businessman by telling your chief of marketing, you damn fool. Don't do the standard mechanical things. Do the Mr. Goel brand of intelligent link building. And whosoever be the founder who is, in your image. That is the beauty of it. The link is there. It is vital. And this is how it has been created. to tap into the power of CRM for advantage to the maximization or optimization of customer lifetime value. This is the beauty. That's what makes me excited. And that's why I'm happy we are talking about it in Thought Leadership Program.
Okay. So you have mentioned that the link has not to be mechanical. It should be human touch is to be there. You have to analyze, you have to check what is the main event, why the customer is doing that particular purchase in that particular month, and try to give compliments to the customer in that month, not a mechanical sending this thing where there the customer is not buying anything. Now my question to you is, can customer lifetime value thinking improve business profitability? If yes, how?
And now the beautiful questions are coming from you.
Earlier questions were not beautiful.
Not of this level. This is, Miss World kind of a beautiful question. They were, maybe Miss Karnataka or Miss, South India.
Let's not go with that. Yeah. Yes.
I have to be very careful.
Please go ahead.
I have to be very careful. Okay. So customer lifetime thinking, you see, is today almost mandatory for a business person. Mandatory is compulsory. Because one thing I mentioned, if I don't know what is the customer lifetime value number, even approximately, I do not know how much should I spend. And therefore, I am shooting in the dark. That is not respecting the kind of a stage where business management has reached because of all the technology, all the big data, which is available at a reasonable expense to us. And therefore, if I want to optimize my business profit, I have to make sure, number one, the most profitable customers must first come to my business than to the competitor which I have next on the list. This is very clear. If Mr. Goel comes to spend 30,000 per visit, and if Mr. Ramlal comes and spends 25,000 per visit, I don't want Mr. Ramlal to come to me, sorry. I want Mr. Goel to come to me. So I'll concentrate on developing my entire consistent marketing program to pick up the most profitable customers, as many of them as have capacity to serve Mr. Goel.
Okay.
If I have 100, no, I'm not finished. If I have capacity to serve 400 guests, then I want the first 400 most profitable to come to me. Now the question is, when I decided to enter the business and when I had the CEO, what is the most important decision that we wanted there? What is my current capacity and what should be my medium-term capacity expansion and what should be my long-term capacity expansion? In the olden days, we had a way to answer the capacity question in economics. It was there, but the exactness with which I could take that decision, the certainty which I could put in that decision was nowhere near until we got to customer lifetime value computation. So with that one, not only I attack the most important or valuable customers, I build the capacity to serve them. And these two pieces are vital to be brought together. They must be done together. They must not be done in isolation, Mr. Goel. So this is how customer lifetime value maximizes the profitability. And there are 10 other ways. But because of the paucity of time, I cannot build on them. But I'm telling you, get the feeling that today's business people are having so much of technology power in their fist. I'm amazed that what wonders they can do in an incubator setting, in an accelerator setting, or on their own standalone. They can do wonders, Mr. Goel, if they are listening to us and they understood what we said just now. Thank you very much. That's why I said this is the world class beauty question.
Dr. Saran, I agree with you, it's a world-class beauties question, but it is creating a distinction between a CLV or the customer lifetime value and a non-CLV. So suppose I am a first-time customer, I go to your organization and there is a Dr. Saran who is coming to your organization, who is a CLV, who is a customer lifetime value customer. You mean to say that the organization will treat me not as a VIP or special treatment which you are getting, and I will be treated like an ordinary person. So my loyalty or my customer lifetime value will not be with you, and I will go to the next time. I will feel that they are giving more value to the other person, not to me. Next time, I will go to another shop or the organization. What you say about it?
Sir, the question you asked brings me an opportunity to say something which is very vital. So thank you very much. What I'm going to say here is whether you are a first-time customer or whether I am a loyal customer coming for the fourth time, in the customer lifetime value world, that does not make a difference. The difference that makes is that you became the first-time customer, you have been acquired, and I have been acquired for a lot of time. Now, how did that happen? I laughed in the beginning precisely because, see, customer lifetime value is a planning tool. 5 things managers are required to do competently: plan well, organize well, staff well, motivate the staff and compensate them well, and control them well, control the process. So without lifetime, all the planning tools which we had, Mr. Goel, were less powerful, less beautiful. Not that we did not have beauties before CLV, they were there, but this one is of a higher pedestal. So this is a planning tool. Other things are secondary. This is not a normal kind of a reward system. It's a planning tool.
You were talking about the customer loyal lifetime value, and you have also mentioned about the analytics part. Now, my question to you, is there any link between analytics and CLV or the customer lifetime value?
There is the same link which is between a cause and effect, or a goal and means, Mr. Goel. I hope this short answer is very precise, but it gives the full meaning here. The analytics is the means for me to practice high quality customer value or scientific management. Today, customer lifetime value is a metric which allows me, with its sophistication, to practice high degree of scientific, data-driven decision making in the organization. It is possible because analytics also has grown to support the philosophy of customer lifetime value. So philosophy won't have been practical if the analytics were not there. So this is how close the relationship is. This relationship of analytics is like in our common Hindi phrase, choli daman ka saath. So analytics and CLV have that.
Okay. Now, till now, because the last question I have to ask you, you have mentioned about the customer lifetime value. This is for existing businesses. Yes, agree. But what about an aspiring entrepreneur, whether he or she will be benefited from this CLV or not?
You had to save the most difficult question for the end, Mr. Goel. This is the most difficult of all the questions that you have asked.
Time is short.
So whether it is that's why it becomes more difficult. I know that. So if the existing business is benefiting from it, how about a new business person? If somebody understand the new business can be a carbon copy of existing one, then you see, I can answer very easily. Learn from them, try to experiment for yourself, and God be with you. You benefit the same way the other person is benefiting. If the new business is a disruptor, then that person, you see, I don't have any standard quick answer for difficult one. What we will say is, forget about anything else, my friend. Remember, if it is yours is a 4P kind of a business or 7P kind of a business, make sure each of them are consistent and they will produce you the highest CALV. Now, it is easy for me to say because I'm compressing so much of information into the 1-2 sentences, Mr. Goel. But at least we have answered the question correctly and accurately and honestly. If people have difficulty, let them ask clarifying questions from you. We'll answer that.
Thank you very much, Professor Saran. And as always, you have given straight answers to my straight questions. And I am sure that today's program is quite enlightening for the viewers, and especially to the youth, those who are either running a startup or those who are planning to become a entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, or those who are planning to start a startup, because the customer lifetime value is very, very important, as Professor Saran has emphasized, and he has given all the details. And if a business person, whether it's an existing business of 60 years or 100 or 200 years old, if they understand what is the value of the customer lifetime value or the advantages of that, then I'm sure their business will definitely get a new life, even if they have not adopted this thing. And those who are going to start or who are in the initial stage of business, they are definitely benefited by this. And I'm sure today's program is very, very enlightened, because Professor Saran tried to reply all questions. Rather, he has replied all the questions with details whatsoever. But as he mentioned, that many times it happens that somebody is having some doubts. So if you have any doubt, you can send through any of the media channel, put them in their inbox, your comment. Definitely, I will pass them. Or you can WhatsApp me if you have my WhatsApp number to Professor Saran, and he will be happy to reply those answers to those questions. And our endeavor is to come out with such types of programs so that it can educate many things. Because today I received message, what is this customer lifetime value, in the morning, and I said, please watch the program. And I'm sure today's program has served the purpose to clarify all the doubts about the customer lifetime value program. Thank you very much. Thank you. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And we are trying our best to bring you every day a new topic with a new message. So if you are liking our programs, please subscribe our channel or give your comments so that we can improvise ourselves. Thank you very much. And thank you, Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran, for giving such a knowledgeable program, I must say, enlightened program, which will be definitely go for a long way. And thank you all the viewers for watching our